Welcome back to Saxlingham. Let's fix that time. So we've been and done a bit of a loop so we can make sure that we are on the correct side for the harvester. And that should be about right. There we go. We've got both the tracks and trailers lined up, ready to go. So let's get that unfolded. And about the bit of a love tap. There we go. We're okay for fuel. Job is a good one. So we'll leave that there. So I hope you are all well and doing okay. So I think we will put this. We'll go in here because that's just easier and it's out of the way. Perfecto. Beacons off. Engine off. There we are. Lovely. So the plan is to smash out some harvesting. Basically, there's nothing overly scientific about it today. We are getting the harvest done, and I think the plan, rather than doing what we were doing before, where we completely cleared one field, you know, baled it all, yada yada yada, we're going to just harvest, then go around, have a big baling session, excuse me, and then yeah, start to repurpose the fields. So the one thing I do want to do, and I was been playing on my cloned save, is to adjust the FOV for in-cab. I just find that the 60 is too close. You can't really see. Now, I'm not saying I'm perfect at it at all, but does tend to help a little bit. So we're unfolded, and that is good to go. So let's go power and lower down and into the field we go. Lovely jubbly. Yeah, I just find, and if I drop out a cab now, you can see we're not too far off, so just a little bit inside the header from the edge of the field, and we're good to go. And I won't do it all in cab, but it's nice to do a little bit, and probably a bit obvious, but it's easy once it's the up and down roads and we have a course set. Now I know I could stick GPSs on for this. We are not dropping straw. That is better. That's fine. So once we've been, in fact, we could probably, yeah, we'll go round the headland once if we get that far, and then we'll bring auto drive into the mix again and use that for our karting. We have installed the red tape mod by Oz. Check me out. We are using the GitHub version at the moment, just because it's a bit more up to date than the Mod Hub one, and it was recommended by Eagles. We'll go into that in a little bit because I need to be able to show you in the menu, and yeah, otherwise we're going to end up in a hedge trying to do two things at once. So yeah, and it looks like a really, really nicely done, interesting, gonna cost us money sort of mod, but it brings a level of, dare I say it, realism to the game, which, as far as I'm aware, there is nothing else that does that at the moment. So we'll take a look at that shortly. Like I say, I'll get this headland done and then we'll bring auto drive into the mix. Well, I'm not overly confident we're going to get all the way around, but yeah, so when we're full, we'll turn auto drive on and we'll go from there. And here we go with the first unload. Not too shabby, well done. Auto drive. Lovely. Right. Well, shall we attempt to do something? Let's get... No, don't go backwards. Thank you. Come on. Notice that we're moving. There we go. Super duper. So we have set a track. We set the track on the... Well, to us, the right-hand side of the field. That's me pointing. Because it's a nice straight edge. So we've got our track set. Which we should be able to drop onto... and work our way back across the field. I know it's a touch early, but it's 28 degrees, so one assumes that the crop is dry enough, and it's going through the dryer anyway, so it doesn't really matter, does it? No, it doesn't. Slightly patchy yield. You can see bottom left, it's sort of flickering between yellowy and light green, which is, you know, yeah. Right, so you're 92% full. You've stopped because, well, you just want to, and you'll note, well, you won't note because you couldn't see anything there, but I have enabled autopipe. Sounds like a really rubbish transformer, doesn't it, or a Decepticon. But with the, yeah, where's it gone? We've got unfold pipe at 70% active, which we can change to 80. There we go. In fact, yeah, we'll do that. 80 is fine. So now, whether that's the combine bleepy mod or the stop combine, I'm not sure which one, but either of those enables that function. So yeah, we've even got one less button to press now, which is fantastic. Assuming we're not in the middle of a pass that we've got the crop on the left hand side of the combine. But if we are an observant and diligent combine driver, then we shouldn't be in that position anyway. Pause for hysterical laughter. So hopefully, are you going to now go off and tip? No, you're sat in front of the New Holland because that's what you lot do, isn't it? I would be interested to know. And it's one of those things, isn't it? It's very difficult to describe in a comment, but we'll go for it anyway. Has anybody found an effective way of doing a route that the karting tractors have an entrance and an exit to the field, and they don't always go back to that same point? Do you know what I mean? And now I suppose really you could do it as a loop, couldn't you? You set up like a lay-by sort of shaped pass. Let's put on, there we go. Then have the, always reversing, and have the sort of field waypoint off of the main track. Yeah, that would work better, wouldn't it? Maybe that's something we need to look at, because all he's doing is reversing and then driving back to the same point in front of the New Holland. Maybe that's something I'll try and do when we get back round there. We'll have a look. We'll have a look. I think that would work. So it's, yeah, could do, couldn't it? We'll give it a go anyway. It can't be any worse than watching them sort of doing this sort of standoff dance, reversing back and forth, and then just driving back to the same point, hoping that the other tractor's going to have moved. Okay. Well, I'll get back round there. We'll give that a whirl and see if it's any better. So what I've done is, you'll see I've left the original field 9 waypoint where it was, so they'll come off the main road in. But I've also then created a two-way route that loops to sort of onto the main run round and then back on. So hopefully they can then get back out, because I'm sure that the route there, let's have a look. Yeah, so that goes back out anyway, so that might well work. Who knows? What we'll do is we'll get you here and pop you back onto that. And then we can find a combine. We can hopefully lose that. Right. So now we need to be... We've done 2 headlands. That'll be enough. So, let's go back down this end, because we can again get on our nice straight track and hopefully crack on. 54% full, so we'll just do, we'll go up this side and then we'll empty and then we'll open up the field. I think is going to be the best option, so that seems relatively close to being where we need to be. And lower down. Super. Cruise control on. Marvellous. Now, okay, well that's alright, they're waiting there because the New Holland's in the way, but as soon as the pipe goes out, New Holland will spring into action. Hopefully the class will be able then to manoeuvre where it wants to be, and our new loop bit will work well. Fingers crossed, hopefully. Who knows? Yeah, we'll see how we get on. Yes, going great guns at the moment. And like I say, we're going to just focus on getting the crop off. Then we can do the baling. And we'll just go from there and take it as it comes, I think. So we just hit 80%. Beacons come on. Auger comes out. I love it. I really do like it. I've even mapped now a button for activating the track. It's just, yeah, about automation it is. It's about automation. It's not even automation, is it? It's just making my life a bit easier. But here comes the New Holland, sprinting into action. Love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Now, the only thing is, we're running at a reasonable pace. He's got quite a way to go. Will we get to the end of the pass, or we will be full before they arrive? Keep an eye on that mini-map for the New Holland to appear. 27, 28, 29 miles an hour across the field. He is blazing. I'm not some shoddy horse racing commentator at the minute. Dear, oh dear. Come on, where are you? I think we're going to be full. And there we go. Stop the combine. And now we wait. Patiently. Ish. Come on. Where are you? Can we even see them in the mirrors? Nope. Where is it? What? Why have you stopped and now the class is... What? Did the worker just think, nah, somebody else can do it? How bizarre. It was going great guns and then just stopped. Huh? Very, very strange. Never mind. Never mind. At least we have one worker working. One worker working. Doop, doopy, doop, doop. Is that door open? Yes, it is. How do we... Is that shut now? Yeah. I don't know how I've done that. Interesting. Right. I love the bleep as well. It's like, beep, beep, we're unloading. Very cool. Very, very cool. Makes it so much Better. Love it. Right, I'm rambling. Let's get this unloaded, and we might pay attention. We see we're not able to test it now, are we? Because the New Holland's moved. Ooh. Well, we'll see at some point. They're sure to get in each other's way at some point during this process. Well, I'm just thinking, although we're not anywhere near full, I just pause then to wonder what the New Holland would stop for. I'm going to unload, because that will fill up that trailer. And then we have, over in the distance, you can just see between the screen and the wing mirror, we have the class waiting for us as well. So then hopefully by the time we're then ready to unload again, they'll both be back and we can test out the little loop. That's the plan anyway. We shall see. I mean, it's not... They actually get to the grain dryer and back quite relatively quickly. Is that full? Yes, brilliant. Super. So let's auger in so it doesn't caught the class. Job's a good one. And hopefully it'll work. We might be able to see it in action very shortly. Come on, I'm hoping. Oh, it's going to go that way. Which means it should exit fine. Hopefully. Fingers crossed and all that malarkey. Very well done, avoiding the crops. Super. It looks like it's doing well. Have we got everything? Yes, we have. Lovely jubbly. Let's just pop out of cab a second. Oh. What's it going to do here then? Oh, really? Why has it not taken the easy route out? Is it because it has to go back to the waypoint every time before it leaves? It shouldn't do. It should just go to the... Oh, doing something. Just doing something. Really? It upsets me. It really does. What's that on now? Grain dryer tip. So you've got a course. Now you're on that one. So just go. Why? Why? Does the I'm trying to think if it needs to be like a side road. So annoying. So annoying. Because if we look, there is a route that goes out there all the way then to there. Why not go that way? I don't know. I don't blooming know. Now where you going? No. Oh, I love auto drive. It's my most favouriteest thing. It is when it works. Why couldn't it have done that before? Answer me that. Right. We'll crack on anyway. We'll crack on. Right. We'll go for this one. I'm going to drive the first bit myself so we can actually catch that bit there. And on the course. Off we go. Super bloomin' duper. Onto the last of the lands for this field. And we had the same situation again with the unloading tractors getting a little bit confused on their exit point. So there's a setting within auto drive about field exit. So I've set one of them to behind start and the other one to the closest point. Don't know if that will make any difference whatsoever. So if you manage to nail this, because this is something I've struggled with, but, well, since I've used auto drive, really, there's sometimes you nail it, and whether you do the route slightly different, or I don't know. But yeah, if you've managed to nail it, please do let me know, because I would really love to not have to go and intervene every single unload. That would be bliss, and far more productive, I think. But yeah, we've not got a lot left of this. Now, I was thinking, do we then go to the oat field, or the last of the oat fields? But I think we'll just work our way. I guess it is down the map, isn't it, really? And just we'll do wheat next, and then we'll take it as it comes. Now, what I am going to do is, that was track 16. So let's hop on to 17, press the button, let it get squared up-ish, and lower down. There we go. Now I think, yeah, there's going to be a tiny little bit at the bottom, but we can grab that, no issue. But the only thing we're not going to really know, because we had a bit in there already, was how much we've actually got in the dryer. Oh, we'll know how much we've got. 85. Oh, yeah, it's tipped at 85,000. Which isn't too shabby, I suppose, really. Not the best of yields. But, yeah. Still worth doing. Here comes the class. See, that was quite quick. It was literally driving off as I started this recording clip. So what's that took? That's taken a couple of minutes, which is not too shabby. So it gets down there and back absolutely fine. It's just this faffing around in the field that is annoying. Let's be honest, it is annoying. So what we'll do is we'll get this finished. We'll get everything tipped, and then we'll take a look at our interesting new mod, the old red tape that I mentioned at the start. Because we've got some thinking to do. It shall be tricky, I know. I can hear the comments. And yeah, we need to decide what exactly we're going to sign ourselves up for. So yeah, let's crack on. Now, is this going to fit one header width? Let's have a look. I don't think it is. No. Ah, the old strip shame. Love it. Right, let's crack on. I mean, we're 50% full, so we're gonna have a fair bit to go into the dryer, which is no bad thing at all. Well, I don't know if we've nailed it or whether it was just a fluke, but that exited a lot better. So I think what I need to do is, if I just show you, I think if I bring the waypoint further into the field on the next field, I'm not going to bother. Well, no. Onto the next, start that bit again. So I think if you have the waypoint further into the field, so there's more space potentially, that could work better. But what I want to show you is the old red tape. So as I said, this is by Oz. Now there's 3 main sections to this. Now, we automatically get entered into, I think, these policies. Okay, so crop rotation, restricted slurry. So crop rotation, we need to, I'm just assuming it's plant something different in the field. Restricted slurry, so we can't apply slurry during the months of September to December. Be penalised for each violation. Animal feed requires animals to always have sufficient feed available. Keep troughs topped up and accessible at all times to prevent hunger and meet welfare standards. That's fine, we do that anyway. Bedding. Now, I'm hoping that it just picks up if the pen needs straw, because if we go to, say, the sort of open pastures, it says straw, but you can't put it in. And I've looked at that in the past, and now you probably could add that in, but would you put straw in an open pasture? No, you wouldn't. So we'll have to see if we get penalised for that. Manure management. You should not let manure sit idle indefinitely. Ensure you do not store more than 50% of the manure you produce in a 6-month period. If you do not produce manure, you will not be affected by this policy. The report will update monthly. However, full evaluation and payout of fines will occur in May and November. So we need to shift more manure. Okay. Animal spacing requires animals to have enough space to move, rest, and access food and water, preventing overcrowding, reducing stress. Okay, that could be interesting. We'll have to see maybe if we do get fined for that, then we need to spread them out a bit more, but we should be okay. We need to keep the slurry below capacity. That's the thing anyway. Water contamination. 40-metre buffer zones of water bodies, which is quite cool. Now, in some cases, if we've got a field near a river, we might have to not fertilise the headlands. Okay. Animal conditions encourages maintaining animal productivity, which is a general indicator of good animal welfare. We do that anyway. Sustainable forestry encourages sustainable forestry practices, rewarding net positive tree planting and fining for overall deforestation. The policy applies to your own land. Doing contract will not affect it. The report will update monthly with biannual totals. However, full evaluation and payout of fines will occur in June and December. Now, I don't think we've taken out any trees. We can have a look at that. Now, the schemes. These ones you have to actually sign up for. So, I'm tempted to sign up for reduced bale wrapping because we've got silage coming out of our ears. Natural grazing. The scheme to encourage letting animals graze in a pasture without additional feed. The payment is intended to offset any loss of earnings. You will receive a bonus for the time the animals spend grazing in a pasture. Bonus amount is variable depending on the type of animal. Now, we have been supplementary feeding, so whether we at some point stop that, I guess that could work. Natural fertilizer is easy enough to do on grass, but the other fields, getting that spot on would be tricky. Now, the one that I'm quite interested in is Sax. So I don't know exactly what they class as taxable income. I should maybe have a look in the mod. But expensive of £181 with no taxable income yet. I'm assuming that is when we sell goods, and then we're going to pay 20% tax in September. Okay, which is fine. That's cool. And then you've got an event log, which says these are the ones that have been activated, because that's when we loaded in the mod to the game. And I think that's it. Yeah. So that's basically it. But it's a really nice interface. It's simple enough to understand. A few little bits to maybe work out, but still overall pretty darn cool. So what we are going to do now is try out. Is that the one? No. It says straw by it. Should know your own mod, boy. There we go. Right. Super. So that's going to get that lot dried. And then what we can do... Oh, you're back. You're back. Right, so you're off, which is fine for now. Let's turn you off as well. And I think that is going to be it for this episode. Next time we are going to jump into probably the field where the JCB is. I think that's wheat. Can we have a quick look? Yes, it's wheat. So we'll do 2 wheat fields and then we'll make our way down and do the final oat field before doing the canola, obviously, when that is ready. Most likely in August, I'm guessing. Canola, yeah, it's got to be August, hasn't it? Otherwise we are screwed. So yes, thank you all very, very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you have, leave us a like. If you're new, think about subscribing. And I shall catch you all in the next one. Take care.